Call the meeting of the Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center Authority to order. Please silence all cell phones. I better do that. And electronic devices. When speaking, please come to the podium, state your name, and speak loudly and clearly. Thank you. Agenda item 1, approval of the agenda. I entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
Thank you, David.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tony. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item 2, approval of the minutes of the February 17, 2026 meeting. I'll entertain a motion on that one.
I'll move that one.
Thank you, Tony.
Second.
Thank you, David. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item 3, approval of claims. We have 4 claims that were not timely submitted, but we're still going to go through these and approve them, I hope, today. And then Shane, you're taking these into the auditor's office?
Yeah, and I'll need you to come with me too.
Oh, I do?
Yes.
Okay. So 4 claims. 3 of the 4 claims are with Suter. The first one's the relocation of hot water system bypass valve. And that, and their 3 invoices all 3 are under their not to exceed amounts. And so for this first one, for the relocation of hot water system bypass valve, $7,935.97. The second claim of Suter is the reset strategy for a differential pressure, $1,700. And the third one is the relocation of the chilled water system differential pressure reference, and that's $5,656.56. And then we have legal services from Frederickson and Byron in the amount of $17,112.98 for a total of $32,405.51. Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move it.
Thank you, Tony.
Second.
Thank you, David. Any discussion or any questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes. Agenda item 4, financial report. Ryan Erickson. How you doing, Ryan?
I am doing really well.
Good. Glad to hear it. Thank you.
And so real quick, now the taxable bond fund had about $7,300 worth of interest posted. And then 35,000 approximately expenditures, which part of it was a reclass of CW suitors. And actually, as I was looking at this, Shane, I just want to just verify resource consulting engineers. Should that have been out of the construction or the miscellaneous fund?
Some of it's out of the construction fund, if it's
Okay.
just working. Resource Consulting Engineers was working on stuff for what we just approved for Suter's claims.
Okay,
The only time we pay for it out of litigation is when he was working on his expert reports and other things of that nature,
yeah, I
so.
just was more familiar with it. I just wanted to verify that. And so that brings the construction fund to just over 2.9 million. Miscellaneous, the litigation fund had, the Frederickson paid last month, which was higher than normal due to the mediation. And so there's like 425,000 left in that fund. And the maintenance fund just had the interest posted, and that's at 1.83 million. So the total cash available to the LEC right now is $5,166,000.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Any questions for Ryan? None? Thank you, Ryan. Agenda item 5, Building Services Facility Report, Mr. Kenny Schmitz.
Kenny Schmitz, Building Services Director. Not too much to report. At the LEC, we did work on the fire alarm panel comm failure issue that we've been enduring for quite some time. Thompson Solutions finally received the circuit board and installed it. After that installation, we did get one comm failure and made some more wiring adjustments and we're waiting to see if that took care of the problem totally. So we don't know yet. It's kind of a wait and see type of thing, so we'll wait and see if we get any more of those alarms.
Okay.
Building automation systems, have maybe a couple glitches to work out with the building automation systems yet. And we'll have to do retro commissioning of that system, and Shane will speak to that here in a few minutes probably. Heating and cooling systems glycol percentages, we had that tested. That glycol in the system is at a slightly high percentage, which does affect the way the building temperatures are maintained. And I'll let Shane also speak to that since he's talked to resource consulting engineers about that. So that's all I had for building report. Any questions?
I'm sure you're aware, but the jail inspector's coming next month. Were you aware of that?
I was not.
Yeah.
I know he's been scheduled at least once and maybe twice, and that's changed. So I hadn't heard. Is there a targeted date yet?
April 14th. Don't quote me on that date. They told me, and I don't remember. I just want to make sure that you knew what was going on, and
Okay.
I don't think they have anything huge.
We'll have our stuff prepared. We know what he looks for, so, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Tony. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Kenny. Agenda item 6, information and update on LEC project. Shane Albrecht.
So thank you. This month from my last report is going to be a lot shorter because most of this stuff was handled locally with Kenny, and my involvement has been quite a bit less. Big things to report. Month of April we've got scheduled today. So the 6th we'll have a meeting on removing the energy recovery wheel. Right now it's scheduled to be removed on the 8th of April. So Suter will pick that off. We'll make sure we coordinate with jail and everybody else and get a PIC plan in place, because there will have to be cells that have to be emptied, so they're not underneath the energy recovery wheels that swings over it. So we're picking that off the roof and taking it down. Its overall weight's not huge. They may carry it closer to the roof. That's why we're going to have a meeting first on Monday to get a good idea of exactly what their plan is. So that way we can give the jail staff notification on Tuesday of what's going to happen on Wednesday. So that way nobody's caught off guard. So that's kind of a big scheduling thing. That's one of the big updates, is that energy recovery wheel will be removed first week of April, right after Easter.
Shane, is the jail aware that this is happening?
We had told them about the fact, I don't think they're aware that, I don't know that they're aware, Tony. Kenny will follow up with that.
I mean, it won't take them long, but instead of giving them one day to go, stuff, we got to move. Let's give them as much time as we can, and then realize they won't know the plan until 24 hours out.
Yes, I told him this was coming. I told him a while back that this would be coming and what to expect.
Okay.
But we haven't given him a date. Like Shane said, today is the first day we knew what the actual date was going to be, so we'll let him know that.
Perfect.
Thank you, Kenny. Kenny brought up, so with all the changes and everything that has been going on with the heating and cooling system, Kenny felt it was best that we had the glycol levels tested and all the piping. So our target was 35%. It had been at 38%, so we just wanted to make sure it hadn't dropped by the different drainings and stuff. Well, good news is it came back at 43%, which is, for freeze and burst protection, great. But the viscosity of it changes now. So now it's performance for heating and cooling, because the more water has a better thermal transfer than glycol does. So as you step up the level of the solution, not only do you get less thermal transfer, so you get a less effective heat out of that same temperature. The other problem that you have is that higher viscosity gives you higher differential pressures on your pumps. So what you used to have for flow may also be affected by this. So we are just monitoring that right now to see if we need to lower the percentage of glycol in the solution. This is a closed loop system, so the only time, so everybody's used to the courthouse. It's basically has a continual water feed fill to it, so your percentages can go down. This is a closed loop system, just like the radiator on your car. So if it's ever low, there's a glycol fill tank that's in the building. So instead of pumping just city water to it, we pump more glycol into it. It's a properly balanced solution of glycol and water, but if we're at too high a percentage, we could have heating problems going forward. So it's just something to keep aware of. It does have greater burst protection. The only other thing that's been going on, as Kenny said, is a little bit of BAS system, the automation system, is reporting in a few little bugs. But one good thing is Kenny did get an alarm, not necessarily great of what the alarm is saying, but at least he did get an alarm yesterday when the chiller was down, which that is the first time that's happened in at least a year. So those are really my updates. Big thing coming up again is the removal of the energy recovery wheel and just trying to get through some of the last bugs on the automation system. And then this summer, we're looking at the retro commissioning piece. So we'll be Corey's writing up a plan of what that's going to look like, so I can get that priced and get that to you guys for approval if that's what you choose to do. It is our recommendation that you do that. And at that time, when we have the commissioning agent here, if we need to do something with the glycol levels and all that stuff, we can set that at that time too.
So what does that do, Shane?
So basically you have retro commissioning, its job is to set the building back to square one. So every time people make changes to the building and everything else, you have a baseline of your building, and every change moves it somewhere above that baseline. The goal of retro commissioning is put it back to that baseline. The problem with our building is that baseline has moved 25 to 27 times already since it started. So when you look at all the PRs that we ran through, that everybody's heard forever, all the different PR numbers, every one of those was a minor change to something that doesn't always look at the whole. So what we're going to do is they've made changes to, we just approved 3 changes that have happened since it started. So we're going to put the baseline to be able to set it, and the commissioning agent will come back in and make sure all those tweaks and changes, that somebody doesn't have something in there that's causing you energy, but more importantly, costing you control of your building. That's why you have it reset, is to try to get the control of your building back. Because somebody could have set a valve to manual at some point in time because it wasn't getting enough flow. This gets everything back to automatic, but puts a set of eyes on it to make sure there's not problems or questions.
Is that an expensive procedure?
This one we're estimating right now is about $35,000. And it's something I would recommend going forward, that you look at that in an every 3 to 5 year time frame. So it's not, this is once, but this is the first one of, in another 4 to 5 years, you do it again.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Shane? Okay, thank you, Shane. Agenda item 7, public concerns that do not relate to a scheduled item on the agenda. Nothing from Mr. Nelson? Supervisor Nelson? Okay. Well, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, well, I can't hang out.
Agenda item 8, authority and board members' concerns. Anybody have any concerns?
I have a question.
Okay.
And I got attorneys here, and I got Kenny here, and everybody's here that maybe can answer it. Accurate, the controls our doors and our security cameras and all that. Our licensing agreement is coming up in August, I was just told today, and they're wondering, do they need to go to the board to ask for money to extend that? Or do they need to come to the authority and ask, because it's part of the initial build, on there. And then I said I would bring it up in the meeting and we could discuss it.
That's a good question. Kenny, can you help us with that? This is on the licensing of the.
It's the support, if something goes wrong at 2 o'clock in the morning, we have an agreement with
Okay.
Accurate to, we can call them and they'll help us.
Okay, good.
Tony, do you know what the dollar amount is by
I,
chance?
I asked for it, Ken, and they haven't got back to me yet.
You don't know off the top of your head, do you, Shane? I would say that's probably gonna be driven off the dollar amount. My initial thought is, depending on the dollar amount, it would be an expense of the building, operating expense of the building, but, and normally would try to put it there. Again, this one could be a high one, because we have a ton of cameras and security electronics in that facility, so it could be very high.
Yes.
So I think once we get the number, then maybe we'll talk about that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There might be, you think there might be other licensing agreements as well, Tony, that could be coming up?
There is, but that's stuff that the sheriff's office has always handled. This was our new system coming into
Okay.
the building. Like, I mean, we have a ton of different licensing agreements, but it's always been in our budget, the sheriff's office budget, to
Okay. All
take
right.
care of it.
All right, thanks for bringing that up. Any other concerns of the board? Okay. Agenda item 9, I'll move that we go into a joint closed session with the Woodbury County Board of Supervisors and Frederickson and Byron Law Firm under Iowa Code Section 21.5, subparagraphs 1C. Is there a second to that?
I'll move it.
Thank you. Any
Moore,
discussion? Oh, yeah, we'll do a roll call vote. Aye?
Dietrich,
Aye.
Wingert,
Aye. And don't be shocked, I'm not gonna move to adjourn the meeting. We'll hold that one. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, those are signed.